Morning, everybody. I want to welcome you to Pulaski County Fiscal Court. We're still having our limited court meetings here, trying to social distance, but we do have several reports for tax rates today, so I had to make an exception to let that come in today. But we always like to start our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance, and this morning I've asked TJ Atkins is with us from the Extension Office today. I've asked him if he'd lead us in the pledge. If you all please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. The first item on our agenda would be the approval of our minutes from our previous meeting. You all received a copy of those. What would be your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Ranshaw and a second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item then will be the second reading of the backhoe and equipment lease ordinance. Had our first reading at our last scheduled meeting. This will be the second reading. Basically, it's an ordinance approving a lease for the financing of a project, providing for the payment security of the lease, creating a sinking fund, authorizing the execution of various documents related to such lease, and making certain designations regarding such lease.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion by Wilden, a second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. Next item will be our new business then. We have with us today from the Extension Office, TJ Atkins, to present the Extension Office tax rates for the year.
So good morning, everyone. The Pulaski County Extension District Board did set their tax rates yesterday, and they went ahead and took the compensating rate given to them by the state. So that will set real property at 1.548, tangible property at 1.8808, and motor vehicle at 1.2. Thank you.
Can you repeat those again?
Real property is 1.548, tangible and personal property is 1.8808, and motor vehicle is 1.200.
Thank you.
TJ. Next then will be our Pulaski County tax rates. My recommendation is that we will take the state's compensating rate, which actually would be a tax decrease for our county. Would be set at 4.9 for real property and 4.9 for personal property. So it's good to see a tax decrease for our people, so thank you all, and that would be my recommendation if you all would vote to approve that.
Motion.
We have a motion by Ranshaw, second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. And we have our 2020 county library tax rates. Charlotte, if you'd like to present those, please.
Our tax rate also went down. It is 6.6. It is the compensating rate, and the real property is 8.42.
All right, thank you.
And I also passed out our report that I'm required to give to you all. It looks like we were down, of course, from COVID. I just wanted to report to the court that I think I had sent the judge a thing of what we have been doing. We actually know people were in the library for just 1 week, and after that we started working and putting books through our book chute and getting people books that way. We also served our lunches out of the garage, which we had an increase on that. We increased 7% on the lunches that we gave out, which is provided through the school system. So we also went out with the bookmobile on that. So we're almost back to normal. We still have a limited capacity in the building. We're still, we're having our board meetings open now with social distancing, and pretty much everything else is going good. It's been a
Okay.
rough year.
And while you're here, Shart, I'm going to go ahead and read this to the
Okay.
members of fiscal court that you gave me.
Okay.
It says, "County government, thank you for your assistance in cleaning shrubbery out of the island in our parking lot." Basically, they were doing a project there at the Children's Garden, and they needed some assistance, so we let our road department go and help them clean out some landscaping there. And then she also says, "And thank you for your generous donation of the temperature stand from Silent Guard." You've seen those around, that it takes the face recognition and the temperature. So we were able to secure those through the CARES Act and able to help.
Yes, it
the
really
library
helped us. We were actually sitting back at the door and taking staff's temperatures, so that freed up a couple of employees.
So it's, thank you for
Thank
your
you.
thoughtfulness here, and we're glad we could
I
help.
appreciate you all. Thanks.
And just a word about these tax rates for our public. Basically, whenever we go to set our tax rates in each district here for the year, we're giving last year's rate, then we're based on property values and personal tangible property values. The state gives us a rate that will allow us to maintain the same level of funding from the previous year, and that's what the compensating rate is. And so because of an increase in our property values in this area and in our personal and tangible property in this area, because that value has gone up so much, it allows us to lower the actual rates. So that's what that's all about. It's a good sign of our local economy here when you see your property values going up that much, so that you can lower your tax rate. So I feel like we're probably one of the few that are seeing ours go down this year, where a lot of them are seeing theirs go up. So it's a good sign for our county, our communities.
We have the second lowest tax rate in the state of Kentucky.
And just want to point out, we have the second lowest tax rate in the state of Kentucky. Out of 120 counties, we are the second lowest, so that's something to be proud of as well. So we have a lot going on here in Pulaski County, and we're able to do it without putting the burden on our taxpayers. So that's good that we can brag about that. Okay, so now that we have been presented the tax rates, I have to get a vote to allow the library, the extension office, and the health department tax rates to be placed on the tax bills. This is per the auditor has requested that from the sheriff's office. When they collect taxes, we have to vote to allow those to be on the bill to be collected. So I would need a motion to do that.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wheeldon, a second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next thing we need to do, we've got Halloween coming up. We need to set our hours for trick or treat. Now, obviously, this is going to be a unique Halloween, given everything going on with COVID-19, and I would encourage those of you out there, if you're not wanting to participate this year, please just leave your porch lights off. But if you are wanting to participate, you can turn your porch lights on, decorate how you like. But I would encourage everybody to be safe, encourage the kids to wear the masks. You know, hopefully the COVID mask, but, you know, I'm sure they'll have all kinds of masks. But anyway, please be safe as you're out doing this. But we want to set our hours for 6 to 9 on the 31st, which is Saturday. I don't know if that requires a vote to do that.
I'll make a motion.
All right, we have a motion by
Second.
Ranshaw and a second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Excuse me. All right, next then, we've got two issues related to our flex funding for our roads. We have a resolution that we need to pass. Basically, this resolution is adopting and approving the execution of a rural secondary program agreement between the Fiscal Court of Pulaski County and the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet Department of Rural and Municipal Aid and accepting all roads and streets referred to therein as being part of the county road system. So that would be the resolution. We need a motion, was that Wielden?
Yep. Second.
Second by Strunk. This one does require a roll call vote, please.
Turpin,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wilden,
Yes.
Branshaw,
Yes.
Strunk.
Yes.
Motion carries, and then the second part of that is the agreement between the Commonwealth of Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid, and Pulaski County. Basically, this is an agreement. We've got the roads listed that would be included in the flex funding. We'll note, I see one typographical error. Instead of Barron Turner Road, it should be Buren Turner Road, B-U-R-E-N. But other than that, we need to approve these roads as the flex fund for this coming year.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion?
Can you explain how, even though we're approving this, that these roads may not be blacktop till the spring, so people understand what's going on, why they're road?
Certainly.
'Cause we had, we put it out there that we were gonna do some blacktopping this year, as little as we got, so. but-
Certainly can. And first, I'll go a little further than that too. This particular year, we're seeing less funding, and the reason for that is, like everything else negative this year, is the COVID-19 virus. When the virus first was introduced, you saw almost a complete stop to travel along our interstates, along, from town to town. People just stopped traveling. And the road money we get from the state is a direct reflection of people buying gasoline. Whenever you buy gasoline, you pay a gas tax to the state. The state gets a portion, they give a portion to the counties and a portion to the municipalities in the state. And because the gasoline sales dropped so dramatically, the state cut the funding that it was giving to all of the counties, cities, and to the state highway department. So that's the first reason you're seeing less mileage this year. But in the flex funding, basically that's what we're voting on today. They have originally said they were not going to release the flex money until January. So that puts us in a little bit of a bad spot because our paving company shuts down usually around November and doesn't open up until April. So if they don't release funding until January, we won't see any roads being blacktopped until April and May. However, recently I saw an email, there's a possibility they may release these funds prior to that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that maybe we'll see some of it this fall. But more than likely, these roads will not be paved until April and May of 2021.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just thought people ought to know that information.
All right. So we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It brings us to our, before we go in our department reports, I want to recognize a few of our workers. We've got 3 county employees that are retiring, and normally we would have them into court and present them with a plaque and brag on them a little bit because of the nature of COVID-19 and our restrictions here. I do want to recognize these 3 individuals today and show their plaques, and then we will deliver their plaques to them. But first one we have is Marvin Wesley. Marvin has been with us for 22 years, and he's worked at a few of our departments, most recently with the Animal Control Office here in Pulaski County. But Marvin is finally able to retire, and I want to thank him for his service and show the plaque that we've got for Marvin for his 22 years of service. And if any of you all have any memories or want to say anything about Marvin, you're welcome to say that at this time.
I think Marvin did a good job with the jobs that he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great asset to our county. He was always there if you needed him to help you. We're gonna miss him.
I agree. He's always a pleasure to be around, always in a good mood, and always, light, and he made you comfortable to be around him, and he always was there showing up to do his work. So we appreciate Marvin for his service, and I will get that delivered to him. And next, we have another longtime county employee who's been with our 911 dispatch center. And she has shown great professionalism throughout her career. And I know that as she retires, she's got plans of going on and doing other things. But I want to recognize Kathy Eisen for her service to Pulaski County for 27 years of service. So thank you to her. If you'd like to say anything for Kathy.
Being a 911 operator is a very tough position, very stressful position, and for somebody to go as long as she did, that's a great accomplishment to this county.
Certainly is. So, Kathy, thank you for your service. If you're listening today, and we'll deliver this to her as well. And finally, we have Chester Phelps, who was most recently our mechanics foreman over at the county road department, and then now the maintenance department. So he's put in 15 years and has reached the age where he can retire. So I just want to recognize Chester Phelps for his service to Pulaski County and say thank you. And if you're watching, Chester, we appreciate all you've done. So anybody would like to add?
He's done a good job, and we appreciate him.
Okay, well, congratulations to each of you three. Your service is appreciated, and we're happy for you, and hope you enjoy your retirement and whatever endeavors you get into next. So thank you all. All right, one announcement. I don't think we were able to announce it at the last meeting, but with the CARES Act, we've been submitting funds we're submitting requests to recover funding, and I know Dan Price has worked very hard on this, along with Aaron and Becky and Jason over at the 911 call center and the EOC. They've been diligent to put together this request, and we have received our first portion of $1,013,000, I believe was the total. So little less than half of what we're able to apply for. Now we're going to be persistent and diligent, try to make sure that we do get all that we can get for our county. But that's a great first check. Thank you, Dan, for your hard work, and I know Joan can breathe a little easier now that we've been reimbursed for some of our expenses in 2020. All right, next then we'll move to our road department. You all have got a copy of your road work request. Any questions, or what would be your pleasure with that?
Motion. Second.
Motion by Wilson and second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, then, we have a request to purchase 3,000 tons of rock.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson, second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And then next would be a request to purchase 500 tons of hot mix.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Wheeldon, second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And also, let's see, we're going to be needing to get more cold mix, but I think we're going to wait and order that on our next court meeting. So I started to think about doing that today, but I think we'll do that next meeting. Then we've got, moving on, solid waste department. Danny, come up here, and we had a 109 board meeting last night and had some pretty exciting discussion. So I wanted him to share a little bit with what's going on over at Solid Waste.
Yeah, first I'll mention we had a couple of interviews yesterday for part-time employment. Be no salary change for fiscal court. 109 board will cover those. Part-time would start tomorrow, September 23rd. That would be Mackenzie Hignite and Drew Urban, if I get those approved today.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wheeldon, a second by Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Also, Waste Connections gave a report at the 109 board and gave some encouraging news to us that we have upped our residential garbage customers to around 14,500 customers. That's an increase of about 1,000 customers since COVID started back in March. So doing the numbers in my head, that would put our county participation rate of garbage service somewhere probably over 70%. We've been in the 60% for years, and that would put us into the 70s probably with, consider what the city has with their mandatory garbage service, and then the number of residents, households that live in apartment complexes that have access to dumpsters. So that's encouraging news. It's something we want to hopefully see increase. And we've been able, not only been able to sign up these customers, we've been able to retain these customers through. So that's encouraging, and hopefully that will help keep our county cleaner. We'll see less dumping and hopefully less litter too. But that's an encouraging thing to see, that trend up even in hard times.
Yep.
Some things we have coming up to help with the clean up the community. We have our clean sweep got canceled in the spring. We've rescheduled that for the fall, October the 20th. It'll be a Tuesday. We're encouraging businesses to come out and clean up the roadsides down 27. It'll be Tuesday before the final car show, so we're hoping to make Somerset look a little better since we've missed out on a lot of the cleaning. During that week as well, we're doing a challenge to our local school systems and students for them to get out and do what's called a triple bag challenge, where they can go walk their roads in their neighborhoods down with their parents and stuff. They'll be able to take pictures of what they picked up, put it on social media, and they have an opportunity to win some prizes, some gift cards, an Xbox, gas cards and things like that. So we're encouraging people in these times to help us get out and do some things and get the roadsides cleaned up. When we get into the winter months, when the grass dies, the litter really shows up more than it does right now whenever the grass is green. So hopefully we can get a head start, and soon hopefully with the jail we'll be able to pick up litter again, and we'll be able to get people out there. But there is some good news. And then on the recycling side, I haven't announced this to fiscal court, but we're now recycling for Rockcastle County. They're bringing all their materials. We're actually picking it up and bringing it here and sorting their materials, and they're bringing us other materials. So we're helping Rockcastle County, paying them for some cardboard that they're baling and bringing to us, so we're able to supplement their program a little bit and help our program out. And we're also doing some recycling for the city of Glasgow. So we continue to grow and continue to try to help out anybody that needs our help, and also being the best we can for our citizens for Pulaski County.
We appreciate you, Danny. You're definitely a bright spot here in the Pulaski County government and for our citizens, and I know you're very well respected across the state. We hear a lot of folks asking, about your program and how you operate your program. And I know you've had multiple occasions where you have been able to speak to groups that gather in your industry. So we're proud of the work you're doing and all the staff you've got over there. I think they do a wonderful job. So appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Next then will be our treasurer's report. Joan, would you like to come up to the microphone, or you don't have one this morning, do you?
The first thing I want to mention is on the resolution that you all passed earlier for the vehicle, the backhoes, et cetera. There will be a public hearing on September 29th. I do believe that's next Tuesday, if I'm correct. At 11:30, it'll be here in the courtroom if anyone has any questions or comments on that. It has been published in the paper, and it also has been put on Facebook. It was supposed to be today, but we had some issues with getting it published, so that's why it had to change until next Tuesday. The first item I have today is your bill list. It's the second one, of course, of the month of September.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ranshall, second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item I have are 3 fund transfers. The first one is to the general fund from the grant fund, which is part of that COVID money that the judge mentioned earlier for $200,000. The second one is to the general fund also. It's from the fire fund. It's $250,000, and that is just their yearly allotment, part of their yearly allotment to the general fund. And the third is to the jail fund from the general fund for $100,000.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Wilson and second by Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries.
I do also have an extra item of business that just came in this morning. The city of Burnside would like to, it's the fire department, but the city of Burnside Fire Department would like to purchase a vehicle, a used vehicle from H.L. Selby, Used Cars and Trucks. The money will come from their $10,000 grant from the fire fund that they will be due. The reason why it is not going through on the bill list and has to be done today separate is this business would not hold the vehicle for them. So we're having to just do this just a little bit different today.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Ranshall and a second by Turpin. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right.
I do believe that's it. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Judge, I have a couple of things I want to discuss. I've gotten a few calls here the last couple of weeks about our court meetings. Some of them wants us to open up, and with schools opening up, the restaurants opening up, I don't see how we can open up our court meetings to limited people coming in who wants to come in and attend the meetings. So I would like to see if we can look at that situation and see if we can have open meetings again starting next month.
Let me contact the governor's office and find out what they're recommending and see what our judges association is recommending. Let me talk with Martin and make sure that we're not getting ourselves in any trouble there.
And the other ongoing issues that I've been hearing about is people have been asking me about the primitive parking or camping down at the park. So I actually did some research and found out that I won't name the parks, but one state park that I called does have primitive camping going on. I mean, it's getting late in the season now, and I understand that. But one campsite, yeah, we have primitive parking, and then I called another place, and they also have primitive camping. So just ask that you reconsider allowing primitive camping back down at Pulaski Park.
Well, we've talked a lot about that, and it is it's hard to maintain the facilities that need to be cleaned and sanitized when you have people that are in an environment like that. With RV camping, they're all self-contained. They have their own restrooms, their own water supplies, and their own places to get ready. So it's just two different things. And it's like you said, we're at the end of the season. My recommendation is we just go ahead and finish out this season the way we have been, and then we'll hopefully be able to open up again in the spring and be ready to go. But that's just my recommendation. Certainly, if you all want to go another direction, we can do that.
I'm just asking that you look into it, even if it is limited like we do everything else, social distancing and all that, so.
It wasn't a knee-jerk thing. We looked at it very hard and researched, our best options. So I feel like we've made the best decision for the safety of our people, and I think we've seen a good use of our park. Hopefully, we've not contributed any spread of the COVID-19 virus. I always encourage people to get out and social distance in the open air, in the fresh air, and we've got the best place to do that. But unfortunately, when people camp, they have to have facilities, and it's hard to overpopulate those facilities and keep them clean. It's just a difficult situation.
It was just concerns that people called me about, so I figured I'd bring them up.
Understand, and my apologies to those who are avid campers that were unable to do that this year. I used to love to camp like that primitively in my older age. I'm not so much a fan of it, but I do understand how enjoyable it is, and I apologize to those families who weren't able to do it this year. But hopefully 2021 we'll be able to reopen and offer our full services to all of our residents here in Pulaski County and those that want to come and visit as well. But thank you. If something changes, we'll let you know. Anything else? No further business. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Wilson, second by Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor?
No.
Any opposed? See y'all next time.